Yeah, I was in college, sure. And like I was just like put into a group with classmates who basically how it worked is we all pitched ideas in the class, and then the best ideas got picked, and then we broke up into groups, and it was like the people in my group, one of them luckily was into hardcore, so he didn't know too much about like what was going on Philly basement scene wise, but he was very helpful because he was interested in punk music at least. Sure. And the other, yeah.
So we always grab a couple Polaroids just for like a montage at the end. Why not get him done with it?
Yeah. So it was basically just like me and college classmates who had varying levels of interest in the punk scene. Yeah. It was mostly me and this guy Luke Proctor. He was the guy who liked hardcore. Who he came with me to a lot of shows and stuff. But it was me and my friends. Wait. Okay. So you guys just met Pierce yesterday?
Yeah. We were solos. Yeah.
Who all was there? Pierce and
Gigi and the drummer. I forgot that guy's name.
I don't know his name. I've never met him. But
and then Ruben, we expected, but
there's weird stuff going on.
As always, never seems to end.
It's a shame,
dude. It's a damn shame.
Ruben is like, I think he's done more for the Philadelphia DIY scene than anybody.
From Jank to fucking I couldn't.
Well, he set up Cat Fest year after year after year. Sure. He was super heavy into booking shows. Sure. He was just I don't know. He was very instrumental.
Yeah, pivotal. Well, and Philly is such a fucking tight knit and ingrained like basement scene. In Hershey, did you have any of that or like?
Not really. Like,
because nor with us. I mean,
not in Hershey. Okay. In Harrisburg. Okay. I don't know if this is more stuff you want. I don't know what kind of questions these guys want to ask, but
super casual. Hard. Like, I don't even know if I'd call it an interview, but just talking about.
Yeah. So Harrisburg is where I started playing shows with like my high school band. There was a place called the Championship. Okay. It was in Lemoyne. It was total metalcore place, like, but that's where we started. And then there was another place called the LPYC, the Lower Paxton Youth Center, and that was more punk. I'm trying to think.
What was your first band's name?
I guess the first like legit band was called Sunset Arms, which is a reference to Hey Arnold, because Arnold lived in Sunset Arms.
That's hilarious. Cool.
And it was me and my friend Chris and our drummer Gage, and we had a couple of different band names, and that was the first band. And then I got to Philly, and I was a freshman in 2010, and I was starting to go shows. I had just heard of Alex G. I was like, holy shit. So I started ending up at a lot of these basement shows and stuff, and I remember very specifically telling this guy Zach Reinhardt, who used to be in the band The 100 Acre Woods.
And he's in your
oh yes, he is. I was like, yeah, dude, like I'm really, like, I think I had just watched him play. I was like, dude, I'm really trying to, like, start a band and stuff. And I remember him just being like, oh yeah, cool, very cool. Everybody else, yeah, awesome.
Right.
And then of course I did the next year.
Would you mind if I slid this cooler?
Dude, yeah. If you
I'll move it back too.
If you want to move this chair, because that's full of water that I keep forgetting that it's filled with water. Is that comfortable?
That's totally cool. I just want to be able to see too.
Yeah,
all good.
So the LPYC was a good starting place, and then our first show we played in Philly was at a house called the IHOP Estate. Sure. Our first show was actually fucking stacked, and nobody even knew it. It was like Glockamora, Waxahachie, High Tide Hotel, and us, and maybe one other band. It was just like, what the fuck?
First show.
It was just like
really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and then what music were you listening to as a kid? Like, when did you feel like you were listening to something special and not what was just like on the radio per se?
Like when I was in I started getting interested in music pretty early, like second grade. But then fourth grade, I got really into Linkin Park, but then 6th grade, I found Nirvana and Weezer and the Smashing Pumpkins and like 90s rock. I was super, super into Nirvana. Like, they were my fucking first. One of my first screen names was Cobain Day 27. Day for Green Day. It was Cobain Day.
As seen as you can make it. Yeah.
So I loved Nirvana. I was just like really heavy into like exploring Last FM and stuff when I was in high school. I learned about emo in high school. I was super into Fugazi when I was like a sophomore in high school, which then led me down like Rites of Spring and Embraced and all that stuff. And I like liked it, but my high school and like my friend group, well, my friend group was receptive to emo, but like my high school was like farmers, hillbillies, metalcore kids. So there wasn't really, I don't know. I couldn't get into it as much as I wanted to because not everybody was into it or something like that. But yeah, so I found out about that stuff then. But I was never super into emo. I didn't really get... Honestly, the only reason I got into emo is because... so my college roommates, one of them, his name is Rory, he went to high school with Ethan Willard, who was the other guy in Marietta. And he used to go to this shitty college called IUP, which is out in the middle of nowhere. And then Ethan was transferring to Temple. He ended up living with us. He and I, the summer before we all moved in, were like Facebook IMing a lot, like talking about like what kind of music do you like? Because I knew he played music and he was in a band in high school. So he was like, I'm really into emo, and he was sending me a bunch of stuff. And Rory had showed me a bunch of stuff. Like actually, at freshman year of college, Rory showed me Algernon, Snowing, High Tide Hotel, Glockamora, all the like heavy hitters. And I was getting more into it then. I became friends with more people. Emo in Philly in 2010 was like a big thing. And I was like, oh, this is like what's popular here. And I like it. So when Ethan and I moved in together, we were like, we should just start an emo band because everybody loves it here. Yeah. And he specifically is very into emo. I was still, like, I would say to this day and back then, my favorite kind of music has always been, like, 90s alt rock. Like, I really like power chords. I had never played in alternate tunings before. But yeah, we just started fucking around. And, then something else I should mention is that Andrew, the drummer, and Ben, the bassist, they were both from Harrisburg, which is basically where I'm from. They went to a different high school. I met Andrew at an arts magnet school when I was a senior. He was in the acting class and I was in the video class. And yeah, I had heard from other people like, oh yeah, Andrew's the drummer. So we became friends, but we weren't like super tight or anything. But then he moved to Temple, and we were looking for a drummer. And I was like, I know Andrew Weibel plays drums, and he was very pop punk back in the day. So I was kind of like, how's that gonna work? But once we started playing, pop punk drumming goes pretty well with emo guitar playing. So we just started playing in like August of 2011, like right when he moved to Philly. He moved his drums over to our house. It was just us three for a while. We were trying to figure out a bassist. And then Ben joined in March of 2012 after he saw us a couple times. Yeah, our first few shows, it was just a three-piece, 2 guitars and drums, which I'm sure sounded like shit.
Yeah, sure, but it got you somewhere.
But it got us somewhere. I mean, people were receptive to the early songs, so... Yeah.
I think the demo tape is fucking sweet for a demo tape.
Thank you, yeah.
There's a lot of crappier demo tapes than that, man.
Yeah, that one wasn't too bad. Eric Muse recorded it. He's been in a bunch of bands and he's recorded a bunch of bands. I'm trying to think. I think right now he plays with this guy Max Stern. I haven't talked to him in a while, but Eric's a good guy. Yeah, he recorded Summer Death and he recorded our demo and he recorded Couples Therapy. But yeah, I kind of am losing my train of thought.
No. So,
I just took an Allegra D. Have you guys ever taken Allegra D?
No, some allergy shit.
It's allergy shit, but it
drowsy or what?
Non-drowsy.
Okay,
it has pseudoephedrine in it, and it makes you it feels like you took Adderall.
Yeah, there's an added effect to it. Yeah.
So apologies if I'm a little scatterbrained.
You're doing great, man.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So how old were you guys when Marietta was making a demo tape?
Oh god, I guess 19. I was 19.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was in 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, 19. Ethan was 20.
Okay.
Andrew was, I guess, 19 as well.
Sure.
And yeah, Ben wasn't there for the demo yet.
And then what was the influence, like your lyricism, or because it's what do you think of your lyricism like back then?
Yeah, I mean back then.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much you guys actually have listened to Marietta or not listened to Marietta, but on the demo, I feel like you can tell. Well, Ethan wrote 2 of the songs, and I wrote the other one. Ethan's lyrics and my lyrics are pretty different, I would say. I wrote the song that's like, "Wake up, it's time for me to wake," and that was just like those lyrics. I don't know, man. I was 19, and I was just like. Trying to write a song. Like, I had written a lot of songs in high school and stuff, but my bands in high school went from like weird punk. I was really into the Blood Brothers, so I was kind of trying to do something like that, to then I was in this like indie folk band kind of situation where I was playing acoustic guitar a lot and writing open chord songs. And then I was like, okay, emo. So what do I write about with emo? Like, what do I do? So, like, I mean, on the demo, Ethan is very poetic. He was an English major, so he always came up with really good hook lines. Like, I really, like, in God Bless Eric Taylor, like, to come with me, I promise the water is fine, blah, blah, blah. That part's great. In United Away, I think there's, I'm too scared to tell you there's nothing left.
That was him.
Yeah, he had these. He was just good at. He was a very good lyricist. I feel like even to this day, I still write music, and I still take a really long time to write lyrics. So yeah, the themes back then, I guess Ethan, not to air out his dirty laundry, but I mean, he talks about it on songs and stuff. He's a pretty anxious and depressed person, so he definitely leaned into that. And I think for me, it was just like a lot of like talking about transitions in life. Like, I just moved away from home. I'm in a new city. I talked about girls a lot, like relationships, and like I had gone through I'd gone through a breakup with my high school sweetheart, I would say. So I definitely incorporated that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's
it's intense, major transitions. In life, and ending a high school sweetheart. I mean, I've been through the same thing. How do you feel being in Marietta helped you? Did it help you?
It did, for sure. I have realized more and more over the years, after not being in Marietta, that it was a very integral part of my identity. Yeah, like I see a therapist now, and I saw a therapist like 2 years ago, and going to therapy kind of helped me to realize that not being in a band kind of felt like I lost a part of myself or something. So I don't know if this is a phenomenon among your peer group or anything, but I turned to rock climbing. I got really into rock climbing because I was like, I need something. Like, I need something that feels
physical exertion.
Yeah,
that gets a lot.
Oh, okay. It's really fun, but I just like needed something to, just be a part of, I guess. Sure. Like, being in Marietta gave me an identity. Like, I knew who I was. It was kind of a conflicted identity though, because as I said, emo was never my favorite kind of music necessarily. So, over the years since Marietta, I've grappled with I'm embarrassed to show it to some people. Like my work friends, I didn't want to show them for a long time. new people. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, yeah, they don't need to hear this just quite yet.
Yeah,
They don't need to hear me singing that high.
Sure.
So yeah, it was just kind of weird. Like I just always wanted to be in a band that as me and some of my friends would call them, the upperclassmen of Philly. That includes like Snowing, Algernon, all those kinds of guys, Galacamora. I wanted them to respect us. I don't know if that ever actually happened, but I just always felt like we were just not mature enough or something. Like our music wasn't mature enough or something. But that's just me being overly critical.
Well, we hear that from a lot of bands, man, that say like their music was young man's music or immature and needed to end, and we've heard people have shame about what they've created, but I think there's something like horribly authentic. No matter how corny you guys were being, that's like your inner child fucking screaming, and I think that's fucking cool.
And that's what I've like leaned into, especially now. Like I'm much less embarrassed to show it to random people. I know it's like a time capsule of how I was feeling at that age, and now that I'm 30 and I'm pretty far removed from it, I can like appreciate what it was for me. It was a really good outlet, and like I idolized Kurt Cobain, and I was always hoping to be in a band that got some sort of popularity. Like I'm happy that is what happened. I wanted to like, I mean, all of us except for Ethan really wanted to like fucking go for it. And like Ethan was graduating and he was never really into touring. He wasn't really he didn't really like playing shows. He liked, I guess, writing music, and that's about it. Okay. So yeah, in 2015 he was just like, guys, I don't think I can do this. Gotcha. And we were like, fuck, man. So we started another band after Marietta, which I'm actually much more proud of musically. But
what's the name of it?
Nara.
Yes. I was reading up on that. And how has that transition been from? I mean, are you still with like close friends in that band?
Yeah. I mean, Andrew is one of my best friends. Yeah, we hang out pretty frequently. Ethan, I'm still really. I was texting Ethan this morning.
I mentioned something earlier about like feeling like the underclassmen of Philly, but I think you've like Marietta paved their way super independently and have made a place for their own. But touch more on like that feeling of like being around all these older people. I mean, I think this is just such a transcendent theme in emo or in music, whatever. But like being the black sheep in the community and like what was that like trying to prove yourself and have like a chip on your shoulder?
Do you want to wait for this to go? I wasn't sure if it was picking it up. Yeah, I mean, like, it was just, if you listen to any of our music, especially the song United Away, we were definitely trying to sound like Algernon. The riff sounds, I can't remember which Algernon song, but it sounds very similar to an Algernon song. Yeah, I mean, for the demo, I would say for the demo and then for our split, we were just really trying to emulate the upperclassmen, as I would call them. Really wanted to sound like them, be in the scene, whatever. I think by Summer Death we found our own voice and like how we wanted to sound and be. But yeah, it was just like, let me try to think what I'm trying to say here. A lot of the shows, one thing about being the black sheep is that a lot of the shows we played weren't with emo bands. There was a really famous house called the Maggot House in Philly. Alex G and the Skin Cells played there a lot. Stinky Smelly, Mumbler, which are much more in the indie rock / alt rock / like 90s rock kind of vein. We played with a lot of bands like that. And we were always like the token emo band. But it was cool because for whatever reason, our shows got really rowdy. So I think that was helpful. Like we had songs that people could chant along to and we had parts that they could mosh around to and shit. So it felt cool to be like, we were simultaneously trying to emulate other bands, but also standing out as unique in the particular scene that we were playing in. So yeah, I'm not sure if that answers the question.
Totally. And was there any liberation, like coming from Hershey, where everyone listens to whatever, and then finally being at a place where people like what you're doing and you feel like-minded at all?
Yeah, it was weird because at the same time, yes and no. Like, it made me realize, like, being in Hershey, I was like a big fish in a little pond. Like, or I should say, my tastes were very unique, and me and my friend group, we were like the alt kids or whatever. And then I moved to Philly, and I'm like, oh, fucking everybody is this. Like, I'm not special. I'm not that different. Like, it was good, obviously, for gaining an audience, but, like, in a way, it was a little kind of like, oh, man, I thought I was cool.
The lightning in the bottle.
Yeah. But overall, like, besides that, like, it was great, because I was like, oh, well, there's all these people who are interested in this music, whereas back in Hershey, you know, there was a cap,
Yep.
A very hard cap, and maybe like 100 fans or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Sweet. And then, so just because you made a documentary on it, speak on just like basement culture in Philly, and like some of the gnarliest basements you went to, some of the cooler ones, you know, friendly, mean, all that shit. Or what comes to mind?
Well, Maggot House is, in my mind, the pinnacle of best basement in Philly. There were a lot of people who lived there, but Mark and Matt Harper, Alex Stackhouse, this guy Beans, whose real name I know his name is Nick, but I can't remember his last name. Tons of dudes, and actually there were just tons of people who lived there. But Alex Stackhouse is in Knife Play, I think, now. He might also be in a Grateful Dead cover band. He's a really good dude. So are the Harper brothers. I know them the best, which is why I'm mentioning them. But that house was crazy. It was huge. It was like 3 stories, and shows there were just like, they were shows, but they were like huge parties. Just every floor filled with people. The basement was a shit show, or a shit hole, I should say. Yeah, I don't know. I just remember going there when I was a freshman. I remember I was seeing Stinky Smelly, which is Nick Morrison's first band before Mumbler. My shoe flew off. People would crowd surf, and it's like the ceiling is like 10 feet high, tops. I can shout out some truly nasty places. This one place called The Nest was a fucking hellhole. I'm not even sure who lived there, but that place, has anybody talked about it to you? No. Dude, oh my god.
What's it called again?
The Nest.
Okay.
And it was a nest.
Yeah, a festering.
Yeah, a festering nest.
Yeah.
That place was just like, I don't know, imagine if you conjure an image of a basement show house in your head, holy shit, that place was it. It's just fucking gross as hell. I'm pretty sure cigarettes smoked inside kind of vibe. Wet, just sticky and wet. Trying to think of other places. Or interesting things that happen at shows. I mean, my friends, I became friends in 2012 with a lot of people who are from Cape May, New Jersey. Because there was some emo bands, Nicknames and Sovereignties, who were from there. And yeah, we became very close with them. And some of the guys lived at a house called The Shoe. They called it The Shoebox. And some of the best shows ever were there. That place was definitely like an emo haven. Like, Our Sunday Affairs played there. I'm pretty sure Tawny Peaks and who else was emo? Nicknames for sure. That house was awesome because it was just like our best friend's house, and it was just like, it felt like we ran the parties and also played the parties. We had some really bad shows there because of how drunk we would get. One time Ben just got completely naked and just had his bass over him, and I was like, damn. This would not fly
anywhere else.
Yeah.
The shoebox.
Yeah, literally only the shoebox.
Speak on drug use, and go as personal as you want, but in the scene, it's either like straight edge, vegan, or just the polar opposite. What was it like for you guys?
I would say it was very party vibes. Nothing super crazy, drinking and smoking weed, I guess, smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty, I can't stress enough how much the shows, like, early on, like in the 2010 to 2000, maybe 13 to 14 era, it was just like a party and there was a show happening. I think now, I have not been involved in the scene for a pretty long time. I haven't gone to a basement show in a very long time. But I think now shows are much more like business. Like, we're having a show, you can have a couple beers, we're not, it's not going to be a raucous party. Part of that is probably informed by the fact that the shows we were playing back in the day, we were in college, the people running the houses were in college, we were friends with them, it was Fridays and Saturdays. Instead of going to a frat party, come to this house show. So there was that. So it made it much more like, these are parties with shows. Whereas I think now shows are for touring bands. Get a show for a touring band, get some locals on it to get a crowd, charge money so that the touring bands can eat and drive and stuff. That was not really that much of a thing back then. It was very much like college bands playing in their college town on the weekends. At least that's how early Marietta and a lot of the bands we were associated with were doing it.
Yeah, and that's pleasant to hear. Just like we growing up in COVID era too. Like the whole idea of house shows has definitely
it's changed.
It got weird.
People. One of my good friends still lives in Harrisburg, and he's in a band. And I did go to one of his shows last fall, and they just did it outside. Like, it was at a coffee shop, but they did it in the alley next to the coffee shop, which was sick. But like, I think that is happening a lot more. I've definitely heard of shows. I know of shows because Andrew is in a band. The drummer from Marietta is in a band called Wonder Glue, and that's Jacob Lance, who was in Nicknames, which is an emo band that we super good friends with. They played a show outside somewhere in Philly. I think that happens a lot. I just think it's a lot more like the mask thing, like, am I gonna wear a mask, should I wear a mask, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. And even before COVID though, I think things have just maybe settled down. I don't know if it's because it could have just been kind of a lightning in the bottle situation where like just everything aligns right in that 2010 to 2014 era where, I mean, fucking Modern Baseball and Alex G and Spirit of the Beehive came out of it, like all the big guys. And they were there, and there was like a lot of talent and a lot of passion back then. So, I don't know, maybe that's drying up, or maybe it's just not in Philly at the moment, or maybe I'm blind and I don't pay attention, which is very possible. Like, I have been living under a rock. But yeah, it was just a lot more loose and fast back then.
Yeah. So, post Marietta, you mentioned rock climbing. What else are you doing to like find peace in life?
Yeah. I'm in grad school. I'm near the end of it actually.
Okay. What are you going for?
Counseling, clinical counseling.
Nice.
Yeah. I currently have an internship at a drug and alcohol treatment center. Yeah. And that's been awesome. That has definitely helped with like meaning making and purpose in my life. I went to Temple. I got my undergrad in video production, and I like tried it. Obviously I did the documentary, and I was pretty happy about that. And then I tried it after college, but it's very competitive. I mean, you guys probably know it's like competitive, and it's like I've realized after college, like, oh, I should probably, like, know about gear and stuff, which I don't, and I have I'm not a gearhead when it comes to music equipment or video equipment or anything. I don't treat my things good.
You remind me of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I liked the process of making videos and stuff, but I did a couple of, like, freelance things after college where I was just like, I don't like this, like, it felt like a lot of pressure, and it wasn't what I was truly passionate about. Like, music is what I was truly passionate about, and going to college for video seemed to kind of go hand in hand in a way. I mean, shit, the best thing I did in college was about music. So yeah, there was just a few years. I've been working at a restaurant. I've been working at the same restaurant for 6 years. I still work there. And yeah, from like 2014 when I graduated up until currently, I've just been making a living through the restaurant, which has been good because some of my best friends, I work with some of my best friends. I've met some of my best friends through my restaurant work, but it's fucking draining, like mentally, physically, and emotionally. So yeah, back in like 2018 or 2019, I like started on the path of the counseling thing because I was very interested in psychology when I was in high school, and basically when I got to college I had to make a decision what I was going to do, and I didn't do psychology. My mom is a counselor, so she kind of helped me to like figure out if this was the right decision for me, and now that I'm doing the internship and actually working with real clients, like I'm like, yeah, this was the right decision. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to.
What sold you on the idea of counseling? Because like you're going to school to be a counselor.
Are you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I got about a year left, I would say, so yeah. I'm pretty close.
We shared the same therapist growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was definitely.
And we've worked with like.
Well, I was a psychiatric technician.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like institutional.
And then I worked
really?
out of school with kids with autism for a while. So yeah,
we both did that job in New York.
That's sick.
Yeah. So because like I love, that's like probably the one thing I think is worth it in this life is like talking to people and helping them. What sold you on that?
Well, something that I realized after having to write many essays about it and stuff like that is that an aspect of making music that I hadn't really fully come to terms with or like understood the power of was connecting with people. And like emo, especially the emo scene, it was all about community, all about forming a network of like-minded people across the country. I was always interested in that growing up. Like I used to love Against Me and like just like the punk ethos of like community and like solidarity and all that. And I realized that counseling and the work of helping others through talking and psychotherapy is like, it's similar to writing music for people to connect with. Like in one way, music making is a little bit more self-serving, which is fine because it was I did it for me, for my mental health and for my identity. But I guess I started thinking that maybe if people connected with my music, hopefully I can connect with people through a professional career in therapy. Yeah, it was just about the connection thing. Definitely about the connection thing. Because I loved going on tour and meeting people and getting to know what people in different parts of the country were like. That was awesome. And yeah, I think like a very big purpose in my life, and should be for a lot of people. Obviously, it isn't, but it's like making connections with people. Like we're all connected somehow, so why not? Yeah, so why not try to foster it? So yeah, that's how I ended up in it.
Were you ever surprised, like, just speaking about connecting with your audience, like, were you ever surprised by the feedback you got from like all the kids once you guys started getting traction, and like did it like blow you away? Because we grew up like there's a ragtag group of kids that listen to this sort of stuff, not at all the mainstream populace, but like this music, I have seen it help so many kids just like persevering through loneliness. So it's been really encouraging. I mean, again, it kind of helped me to think like I could be a counselor, because I
to this day, we'll still get random messages from people saying, like, thank you for your music. And, you know, it means a lot to me that people, for whatever reason, they really connected with it and it really helped them. I'm not, you know, I'm not always sure how sad lyrics and sad music can help somebody, but because it does, it's like, well, then it was worth it. I made some really crazy friendships from Marietta. Like, I'm really good friends with this guy from Israel. He was in a band called Bonjour Machines, and he's younger than me. I think he's like 22 or 23 now. And in 2014, he and I were just like talking on Facebook a lot, and then he was like, I really want to come to Philly. And he did. He came when he was 15 with his dad. And me and Andrew and Ben learned his band's songs. You should look this up on YouTube. It's sick. I would just look up like Bonjour Machines Live Philly or something. But yeah, we just like played a set with him. He like hung out. He was 15, which was hilarious. Awesome. It was fucking awesome. Yeah. His dad was just like there rocking out. His dad is actually like a somewhat famous musician in Israel who's well known because he wrote some like protest songs about Israel, like anti-Israel, like pro-Palestine folk songs. So he had good politics too, which was cool. But yeah, so like I met him, and I met another guy from Israel too, Rowie. They came back the next summer. He came 3 years in a row actually, which was sick. And you know, he and I still talk, and he's actually like he is an amazing musician. Do you know the band 100 Gex?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He writes kind of like 100 Gex hyperpop kind of sounding stuff. And it seems like he has a pretty good music career going in Israel, which is sick. Yeah, I met him. I met this guy from Ukraine a couple years ago on Instagram, and we talk every once in a while, which was sad because I had to I didn't have to reach out, but I felt the need to reach out and be like, are you okay? And like, what's going on? And he's good, but yeah, just like strange people from different parts of the world.
And I think it's just cool that you took the time out to like talk to these people, reaching out to you. Do you feel every band follows suit like that?
I really don't know. I would say probably not. It depends on the magnitude of your popularity. You know, luckily for our fans, we're not a huge band or anything, so when I do get a message from somebody in fucking Brazil, I'm like, yo, that is sick. How the fuck did you hear about Marietta? So I am always very interested in it. Maybe not everybody in my band is. I think it just depends on personality. Okay. But because my personality is that I like to connect with people, especially if they are interested in my artistic endeavors. Like, I'm like, I want to, let's talk. Like, yeah. So. Yeah,
awesome. Then, how about like movies, TV shows? What else do you do to stay busy aside from rock climbing?
Yeah. Just watch Stranger Things.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I love TV and movies. I live here with my girlfriend. We just watched Licorice Pizza last night. I love Paul Thomas Anderson.
PTA is
Did
great.
you?
Yeah.
I don't know if I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
I think our expectations were too high.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
we got like a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, did it?
Tomatoes.
Yeah. So I mean,
wait, what?
Yeah, and so when we watched ours, fuck this.
No, it was, to me, I'm so happy I didn't go in with any expectations, because I was like, this is just a fun little 70s California movie.
Sure. That's exactly what it was.
That's what it fucking was. Yeah. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, There Will Be Blood is I think my favorite movie.
Cool. Paul Dano is great.
Yes. Yeah. What was that reaction?
No. We've just watched a lot of these movies. It's just cool to have someone bring up,
Yeah. And The Master is great.
Okay. Yeah.
We love The Master.
Joaquin Phoenix is one of the best. And fucking Philip Seymour Hoffman is fantastic. You ever seen Happiness?
No.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I haven't actually.
You remember that crazy ass
Which
movie?
one?
Happiness. Where he jerks
the
off
really
on the
depressed
phone calls.
one?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I have so not seen that.
Okay.
It sounds good.
But then they like banned it on like pretty much
really,
all streaming
really hard
services.
Oh, really?
Because it's just so horribly
vulgar
depressing.
And, it's pretty gnarly.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're into.
I love all of Paul Thomas Anderson. I just had my girlfriend watch Magnolia the other day, which I really love that movie. TV shows, I've been watching Barry.
I love Barry.
Barry's awesome.
Bill Hader's fucking awesome.
He's so good. I couldn't believe how this show has gone from like, I was like, this is kind of a goofy concept, but then it's like real as fuck.
Yeah. I don't. Did you like the way they did the transition to season 3? Like 1 and 2, I really loved. I thought it was like light and humorous, but still like, you know, dark and gripping. But season 3, I couldn't get into as much.
The thing is that I hadn't watched season 2 for so long, so when I started watching season 3, I was like, okay, I'm a little confused on what's happening, but okay, I got it.
But
like,
they just by the end of these series, like the last season, it's just this complex like mess sometimes. But I still like it. I love Bill Hader, you know.
Are you saying how like it seems like the mess was gone?
No, it's like for me it got too fucking messy. It was just like there's so many characters and like that bald guy, he's in this like gay relationship with like the Mexican cartel.
Love NoHo Hank.
Like, yeah, NoHo Hank. Love NoHo Hank.
He's so funny.
But at the end it's just like, oh my, it's so complicated. Like there's, I don't know.
Are you caught up on it? I just watched the newest episode last night.
I think I'm like episode 5 or 6. I'm close, but no,
okay.
I think there's 1 or 2 new ones.
Yeah, I because I haven't watched the first and second season in so long, I haven't actively been thinking about what you're talking about, but I get it because much crazier shit is happening left and right. But I think Bill Hader is like a fucking beast in the show, so I'm just happy to watch it.
Yeah, of course. I just love Bill Hader.
Yeah. I read. I just read a book called The Deeper the Water, the Uglier the Fish, which I highly recommend. It's a fucked up family drama, psychological thing. I just started a book called Tender as the Flesh, which is also fucked up. It's about a dystopian future where people are harvested for meat, like they have processing plants like they have for poultry and, you know, beef nowadays, but it's just people.
There's a great song about that, but I've never heard of the band called Chat Pile.
No.
Yeah, but he's talking about send my body to Arby's.
Oh.
Yeah, we're killing each other so efficiently. We should use our bodies for meat. Yeah.
That's sick.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's TV and movies as of recently.
How about as a kid? What was like the go-to? What was comfort zone?
Yeah.
I guess comfort zone would be School of Rock. That my brother.
Linklaters. The best. Yeah.
My brother is he would get intensely into things. My brother's a really good musician as well, but like anything he gets into, RuneScape. OG RuneScape, he still plays old school RuneScape.
Crazy.
Dude, I was like, how? Anyway, so...
Is that the one that they play on Nirvana the band, the show?
That show is amazing.
You know that show?
Yeah, we
that's
love.
Like
I haven't.
We are actually trying to get them for an interview because we'll be in Toronto for I Hate Sex, and they live there. So
Dude,
we were trying to like just a special episode.
We've realized if you just shoot the question, anything could happen.
That's awesome. Wait a second. Do they still make that show? I haven't.
They got in a bunch of legal trouble.
They fucked up.
I don't know if you remember the last episode. They like pretend to steal this map from a museum, and it's not a real fucking map, but people actually like chase them, and they like knock over a security guard, and they like actually go into the train station, like the subway.
Some guy fell into the train tracks.
And they got into like a bunch of legal trouble. Vice dropped them, and like there was
they're trying to find
show.
Production for their next season.
Okay, wow.
Someone's like trying to sue them. I think the city's on it too. Like they got fucked.
I haven't watched it in so long, like years. Yeah. So I don't really remember. I don't even really remember what the show's about.
Well, if you watch it again,
I will watch it again. You jogged my. I completely forgot about it until you just mentioned it.
Weird show. Yeah.
But they play RuneScape on that.
They
show.
do.
Probably.
Very grungy. Yeah, it sounds fitting.
It does. It sounds very fitting. But anyway, the point is that my brother used to like every fucking night this one summer. I don't know, like in 2003 or 2004. We would just have that movie on in the basement. But like in terms of things I really liked The Matrix. I really liked Requiem for a Dream. Okay. I really liked A Clockwork Orange. Yeah. The Shining, just like all the shit.
Good ones.
Yeah, I really liked Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
How about cartoons?
Cartoons. I mean, when I was a kid, I liked cartoons a lot. I liked anime. I liked Dragon Ball Z and Rurouni Kenshin, and Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite.
That's my favorite. I have Hiei on my arm.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I loved Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, I liked Nick and whatever the fuck Cartoon Network stuff too. Pretty standard fare for like somebody was born in the 90s. Yeah.
I think that's. I mean, we just asked that to get like B-roll footage, just for like when we put out a teaser, we just have a lot of things to like put in the background, you know.
And then I guess like last question: what is, I mean, knowing now and having all this experience, what's one thing you wish you could have told yourself? I know that's so corny.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know. But what's like the one thing you've kind of came away from being in Marietta and settling down, so to speak, right?
I wish I would have told myself to write songs faster. Like that's like a pretty like practical thing, but like yeah, I don't know, like I just wish that we got to do more in the short time that we had as a band. Also, I probably would have told myself to like fuck work and like tour more. Marietta only did, I don't know, we didn't tour that much. And I wish we did, just because we were young and like didn't really have anything holding us back. So I also would tell myself to not take myself so seriously. Definitely I did back then, and I was overly critical of my bandmates a lot. I was a perfectionist. It's just how I am when it comes to music writing and creating. And I think I was harder on them, specifically Ethan. I'm sorry, Ethan. Harder on him than I should have been, just because like I was so like focused on trying to become popular, like trying to get a following. And at times maybe I like didn't enjoy the ride as much as I should have. Like I was too focused on achieving success or something. Yeah.
I have kind of a subsequent question off of that. What would you, for the kids who don't have a band, there's no Marietta, what would you know, how do they, what's their outlet? What's your advice for the general population?
Wait, there's not a could you repeat it?
Like, for the kids who don't have, you know, some artistic expression, what's your advice for them? You know, just the audience of...
Okay, like as if they weren't able to pick up a guitar, or they weren't...
Or whatever.
We
like,
grew
you
up,
know,
like, there was no...
Okay.
DIY, or like we are some.
Okay,
of the
so for like
few,
kids who don't have the DIY scene, or like don't,
community, like,
exactly.
You know, I mean,
I would say, you know, in this scenario, it keeps making me think of questions. In this scenario, do these kids like this kind of stuff, or no? They're just lost
Sure,
souls?
they can like what they just don't. They're not able. They're not in a band. You know, they're not
Yeah.
able to just like
they don't
go.
have friends who play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the kids who like. I think there's probably people who listen to your shit that
There
are just
is.
alone as fuck,
There
and
is.
you
We
know.
know a lot of
Yeah,
them.
Yeah,
and they don't
okay.
have anything. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
There's no scene for them to go. I'm a part of. Or
Totally. Well, I know this is easier said than done, but I would definitely recommend trying to get a scene going in your area. Again, so much easier said than done, but the way that the world is now, I would say there's definitely a community online for you, and if you are like a young person who is feeling like lost and without a community, look for it online. You will find it, and hang in there, because like I think a lot of people, I mean myself included, in high school it feels like an eternity, and it feels like it's never going to get better, but it's like just wait and just make a plan and like move to that city where there are people. Or I think that would be my biggest piece of advice, is like if you know of a place where you think that you'll be happier, go to it. Because your happiness is so based on where you are, literally. So, and I know that's not within everybody's means, but if you can do it, if you can, I would just say finding a community in your area that is interested in anything you like. It's very important. Like, it's why I started rock climbing. It's like everybody, you need to find hobbies or outlets where you can meet people that you can become friends with, because yeah, being alone sucks.